Lion of Yehuda, Prince of Peace, you are my shepherd. I am one of your sheep. When I was called years ago, I was part of this world, you see, but something inside me knew your word I must keep. Oh, Lion of Yehuda, Prince of Peace, with you I'll dwell always, my troubles will cease. Lion of Yehuda, strengthen my heart a little while longer now, and we'll never part. Savior Almighty One, sovereign indeed, Lion of Yehuda, you're our Prince of Peace. How long we have struggled, the hills have been steep. You've seen us through fiery trials, 1,000 miles deep. Lion of Yehuda, Prince of Peace, with you we'll dwell always, our troubles will cease. O Lion of Yehuda, strengthen our heart a little while longer now, and we'll never part. Wonderful Counselor, Lamb of Yahuwah, Creator of all things, you're our Redeemer, our Teacher, King of Kings. All praise to you, husband, giver of life, forever your life. Oh, Lion of Yehuda, Prince of Peace, with you we'll dwell always, our troubles will cease. Lion of Yehuda, strengthen our heart a little while longer now, and we'll never part. Okay, starting off with a song that
tells us who our Redeemer is. Lion of Yehuda, Yahushua HaMashiach. And we are to marry him when we are resurrected, if we continue along the narrow path. And we were interrupted just after Sally read Matthew 7 about the straight and narrow gate that the bride enters into. And we're going to continue from that point, because the bride, unlike the world, does enter into a narrow gate. She doesn't hear false prophets or their false teachings. She only hears her master's voice. And I'm going to read John 10, verse 27. That refers to this. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them everlasting life, and they shall by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. And I and my Father are one. Okay. We're going to now read Revelation 14:4, which continues along that line. For they are those who were not defiled with women, for they are maidens. This is speaking metaphorically, of course. They were not defiled by false teaching. They kept themselves away, far away from spiritual adultery, which is considered idolatry by Yahuwah. Idolatry and adultery are considered very close by Yahuwah. So there are false teachings. And they are those who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were redeemed from among men, being first fruits to Yahuwah and to the Lamb. And therefore they follow no false teachings. And then we're going to read Matthew 7, 15 through 20. And Sally, I believe you had that one. Matthew 7, verses 15 through 20.
Okay, beginning in verse 15. But beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are savage wolves. By their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every good tree yields good fruit, but a rotten tree yields wicked fruit. A good tree is unable to yield wicked fruit, and a rotten tree to yield good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So then, by their fruits you shall know them.
Exactly. The bride does the will of Yahuwah. And Dennis is going to read Matthew 7, verses 21 through 27.
Okay. Matthew chapter 7, verses 21 through 27. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, shall enter into the reign of Shamayim, of the heavens, but he who is doing the desire of my Father in the heavens. Many shall say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and done many mighty works in your name? And then I shall declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who work lawlessness. Therefore, Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain comes down, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them shall be like a foolish man who has built his house on the sand. And the rain came, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and they beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. Okay. And do you want me to go ahead and read Matthew 10, 7 and 8 now, or?
Yep.
Oh.
Brother Dennis, just follow right through since
Okay.
Yep. So chapter 10, verses 7 and 8.
Yeah. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. You have received without paying, give without being paid. 7 and 8.
Yep. So the reason Brother Dennis just read that is that they do the things that the master did before them, meaning Yahusha did before them. So Yahusha is commanding them to do those things, to raise the people from the dead, make whole those that are sick, and the lepers. So, and Sister Shoshana is actually going to follow here, and let me unmute her. There's a lot of background noise. That's the reason I have to unmute whoever's not talking. There's a lot. So, Sister Shoshana, if you will, please read Revelations 14:4.
Yes, I just read it, but the bride are those who are not defiled with women or false teachings. This is what we're talking about, or this is what Revelation is talking about. False teachings. They're not literal women. For the bride is created of maidens, spiritual maidens, not guilty of idolatry. They are those following the Lamb wherever he goes, and they were redeemed among men, being first fruits to Yahweh and to the Lamb, their husband. And because she does the will of Yahweh, she is protected from the locust in Revelation 9. And Doug, you want to read that for us? Revelation 9, verses 3 through 6.
Yep. All right. So, and this is kind of a review from earlier. So people that have heard it and saw our first video today, so please bear with us. It's kind of a little review here. See here, Revelations chapter 9, verses 3 to 6. So it says here, and from the smoke locusts went over the earth, and the power was given to them which the scorpions of the earth have, and it was told them not to harm the grass of the earth, neither any green tree nor the trees, but only the people that do not have the seal of Yahuwah on their foreheads. So these are the ones that trouble those with the mark of the beast, which we talked about in earlier today in the first video we did. So please look for that on YouTube. It will be uploaded on my sister Shoshana's channel. It will be on Facebook. I'll be putting all the videos we did today. So earlier we actually I read from this too. So, and I explained it a little bit deeper. So Sister Shoshana, if you would like to read Revelations 14.
Yes, I'm gonna read Revelation 14:1, in which you'll see that his name, Yahuwah, is the seal that he puts on us. And I looked and saw a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him the 144,000, having his Father's name written upon their foreheads. So you see, that's the seal. If you know his name and you use it, you can be sealed. But you have to also do the things that the bride does, which is the will of Yahuwah.
Well said, sis. So I will be also reading, and like I said, this is a little bit of review. Sorry for everyone that has heard us already read from these in the other bullet point. But Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4 says, and this is another part, I believe this is also the other part of the seal, not just his name, but the commandments and actually grieving over people transgressing against him. So this is another part of it, part of the seal. It says, and said to him, Ezekiel 9:4, go through the midst of Jerusalem and set a mark on the foreheads of the men that groan and that grieve for all the lawlessnesses, sins, iniquities that are done in the midst of them. So that's like the second half of the seal. You have the name plus the commandments. Plus those that would grieve over sin being done. So now we go from there. They stand with Yahusha on Mount Zion. So the woman stands with Yahusha on Mount Zion. Revelations 14:1, which Yahusha actually just read. Shushan just read. My bad about that. Sister Shoshana just read that from Revelations 14:1. So they are redeemed from the earth, the first fruits in the first resurrection. And they learn and sing a new song before the throne that no one else can learn. Revelations 14:3-4. Our Sister Shoshana, she's having a little bit of technical difficulties, so I'll read her part here. Revelations 14:3-4. Just to kind of keep us going here. All right, so I'll be reading from the Complete Apostles Bible here. And it says, and they sang a new song before the throne and before the four living creatures. And actually, if you look into this more, I believe they should be seraphim. They're not just living creatures. And the elders, and no one was able to learn that song except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the earth. These are those who were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are those who follow the Lamb wherever he may go. These were redeemed by Yahusha from men, first fruits to Yahuwah and to the Lamb. So pretty much this is giving you who the 144,000 are, and they're singing a new song, not a renewed song. So a lot of this is like what my sister Shoshana read in the first part of our study today. A lot of this is review. So anyone that listened to our first study, it's probably reminding them of what they heard before earlier today. So this is just a little bit of review. That was Revelations 14:3-4. I was just reading it for my sister Shoshana. She was dealing with some technical difficulties, and and here we go. So the next bullet point is, they have guarded Yahuwah's word and have not denied his name. And I would actually say this even doesn't just go with Yahuwah's name. It goes with Yahusha's name, because Yahusha's actually the one speaking in Revelations 3:8 through his angels giving the message to the assembly. So, Sister Sally, if you could please read Revelations chapter 3, verse 8. And let me unmute you quick. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Revelation 3:8. Is that what you said?
Yep. Yes.
I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door, and no one is able to shut it, that you have little power, yet have guarded my word and have not denied my name. See, I am giving up those of the congregation of Hasatan who say they are Yahudim and are not, but lie. See, I am making them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you, because you have guarded my word of endurance. Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon all the world to try those who dwell on the earth. See, I am coming speedily. Hold what you have, that no one take your crown. I'm
Perfect.
sorry.
Yep, perfect. Yep. So that was Revelations chapter 3, verse 8. Sister Sally just read that. So you have the word of his patience, his endurance, meaning enduring to the end, Matthew 24. Okay, so it looks like we're already running out of time, already down to 9 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't know how it went that quick, but all right. Matthew 24:9, Brother Dennis, if you could please read that.
Okay. Matthew 24, verse 9. Then they shall deliver you up to affliction and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake.
Perfect. So now I will be reading the last cross reference of this bullet point, Luke 21, verse 17, which talks about by keeping the patience of his word, by keeping his word and not denying his name, we will be counted worthy to escape all these things. So I'll try to fit this in while we only have about 8 or 9 minutes left of this session. Okay, so it says Luke 21:17, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake. And people might be wondering, why is people kind of whited out there? Well, the Complete Apostles Bible is showing you in certain manuscripts the word people there is not originally there in the Greek. So they're just letting you know. So, and it says, they believe Yahusha and trust in him and act upon his words, and he guards them from the great tribulation coming upon the world. And Sister Sally, if you could read Revelations chapter 3, verse 10, I'll unmute you right now. All right.
Sure, just a moment. Let me turn there. Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon all the world to try those who dwell on the earth. See, I am coming speedily. Hold what you have, that no one take your crown. He who overcomes, I shall make him a supporting post in the dwelling place of my Elohim, and he shall by no means go out. And I shall write on him the name of my Elohim and the name of the city of my Elohim, and renewed Yerushalayim, which comes down out of the heaven from my Elohim and my renewed name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies.
Perfect. Yep. So this is another one talking about guarding his word, that we would be made like a post or a pillar. Some translations will say pillar in the house of Yahuwah. So you'll be given a esteemed position in the kingdom. I would say that would be the most modern English way to understand it, where the woman, the bride, is the greatest in the kingdom, and the the other people in the body of Messiah, they would be the least. So as Yahushua says in Matthew 5, you have greatest and least. So it's pretty interesting there. So Luke chapter 21, verse 19, I'm going to read really quick, and we might have time just for one more bullet point. Then we'll have to do another part. And so let's see here. Luke 21:19, it says, by your patient endurance, you shall possess your lives now. Wow. Okay. So the Complete Apostles Bible lets us know again, and I don't know why that did that, that by our patience endurance, we will possess our lives, meaning he will give salvation to those that endure. Again, Matthew 24:29, you can cross with Luke 21:19. Not 24:29. I think, yeah, actually, no, that is correct. All right, so the next bullet point would be they guard his word of endurance, Luke 21:36. Watch at all times and pray that they may be counted worthy to escape the great tribulation to stand before the Son of Man, aka Yahusha. I'll read Luke 21:36, and we'll probably have to finish this in another video. just letting the viewers know we probably only got 4 or 5 minutes left. So Luke 21:36 says, "Watch therefore, praying always that you may be counted worthy to escape that is about to happen and to stand before the Son of Man." So that's interesting. The Complete Apostles Bible puts it in a tense of like he's warning you that it's going to happen very soon. So that's kind of interesting, a little different from the King James, but very similar. So basically, pray at all times that we would be counted worthy by the Father and the Son, that we would stand before Yahusha, the son of Yahuwah, right before the tribulation happens. So Sister Shoshana just came back in. So and then it says Yahuwah's angels gather the elect from the four corners of the earth. And let me see how much time we got left. All right, we're going to try to fit these last two verses in, or this last verse in here. Mark 13:27, Sister Shoshana, if you're able to read that. Mark 13:27.
Yep. Let me find it. I got all discombobulated. Okay. Matthew 13:27 says, "And then he shall send his messengers and assemble."
Mark 13:27.
Am I not reading Mark 13:27?
I thought you said Matthew. I could have misunderstood, but I thought you said Matthew.
Oh, well, I may have, but I'm
Okay.
I'm reading
okay.
Mark.
Oh, all right.
I'm
I just
reading
wanted
Mark
to make sure.
13:27.
Okay.
And then he shall send his messengers and assemble his chosen ones from the four winds, from the farthest part of the earth to the farthest part of the heavens.
Yep. All right, Brother Dennis, if you please could read Matthew 24:31, and we'll end this part 3 session after that, because we'll only have about 3 minutes left.
Okay. Matthew 24, verse 31. "And he shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of Shemaim or heavens to the other."
Hallelujah. So that's talking about the gathering of the elect, the chosen ones, and pretty much they're gathering us at that time because we're counted worthy to escape the tempting of the anti-Messiah that's coming upon the whole world. Even the rest of the body of Messiah that doesn't make the bride, they have to even go through it in the tribulation, and they have to be tested and tempted. So that, just to explain that. So that was Matthew 24:31. Brother Dennis just read. Please stay tuned. We will be reading the parable of the 10 virgins very soon. But we'll have to do that in a different session, and that will be it. That will be the end of our study. So please stay tuned to part 4. We will be completing this study very soon in part 4. Thank you for joining us on this new moon day. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.